Hello everybody, welcome to yet another live stream painting. So this fine evening we are painting the WARCRY warband, and as you can see I already did some of them. So the beauty of Warhammer is that you don't have to go by the book. So these guys look red in a classic scheme, but I decided I want to go for this nice blue. Let me just show you how they look up close. So this is the paint scheme that we are going for, and I got these two guys. So I had few fails that I tried and I didn't like it, but finally I settled with this one. So this is a 100% painted with contrast colors by Games Workshop Citadel. So yeah, I really like those, and as you can see today we are going to paint this big huge guy because he looks awesome. And over here I try out some paints just to see what I like, and when I was painting these I used this base as a reference to see how everything will look. And yeah, if you watched my last live stream, I did a little happy accident and I spilled some color. So today we have these little holders that keep the color from spilling, hopefully. And I 3D printed these because I really needed them. I didn't want to have that same accident like last time. Okay, so let's start painting this guy over here. So what are we going to start with is called no, not this one, not this one. Where is it? Okay, it's this one. It's called Achillean green. It is this blue color, but first, no, we're not going to start with that one. First we are going to start with contrast apothecary white, and we are going to paint his skin white, basically just give it a little gray highlight. So let me just shake it up a little bit. Okay, so we're going to risk with this one. I'm not going to put it in one of these because I really need it just for a second, because the skin goes really fast. I have some practice on these guys over here. I'll put them aside. So yeah, I started this live streaming. This is the second one I'm doing, since the first one was a little bit fail because I had that paint spillage, which was super funny, sort of. I mean, it was funny for you, it was really not funny for me. But what I really like about it is when I watched it afterwards, after it was done, I didn't even notice because I was in a shock that I spilled the paint. I didn't even really notice when the paint spilled all over the table that I still continued painting, and I dabbed in a paint on the table and continued painting with the miniature, which was really fun when you watch it in a replay. It was like, what are you doing? Clean that up. No, I'm just continue painting. So this guy has some like stitches on his legs, and so we have to attend that later, but for now I'm just going to skip over it. Of course, in this live stream I won't paint entire warband, as some is already painted, and painting entire warband on stream would probably be very long live stream video, which I might do once when I get enough viewers. Maybe I could do like 24-hour streaming of painting. That would be crazy. I don't think, oh, I bumped the mic a little bit with my, wait, let me just put this one over here because I'm constantly afraid I will spill it. Yeah, what do you think about 24 painting stream? I mean, I cannot do it. I have a little baby at home, so that's really not at all possible, but it would be awesome to make something like that, like just sit for not constantly sitting for 24 hours and painting. Of course there would have to be some times where I have to rest or eat or something like that, but overall painting for 24 hours, the idea crossed my mind, but it is hardly doable. but you never say never, because you never know where the world will take you. Life, world, whatever. Okay, so I think we got most of the skin. No, we didn't got anything on the front. I completely missed the front. And okay, this thing here. Okay, so I need some more just to dab it inside. Okay, so just a little more around here. Yeah. Okay, so the mic position is really not good. Now I know that last time the sound was really bad, but I have to move a microphone a little bit higher than I really wish to, so the sound might go quieter. Quieter, is that even a word? So yeah, I think we are done with the skin part of the miniature. Now we can give it a little time to dry up, but we really don't have to, because the next thing we are going to paint is not touching the skin itself, so we will be safe. Because when you are painting with these contrast colors, you really need to give them enough time to dry out, because otherwise you will mix them one with another, and you really want to avoid that. Okay, so we are done with the apothecary white, so we are going to close it up, and now we are going to start painting armor. And for that we are going to use this Achillean green. Now it says here, you cannot see it because of this holder, but this is a really nice blue color. It's kind of somewhere between a blue and a green. It says Achillean green after all, even though it looks bluish. So, and the great thing about this 3D printed thing is when you open it up, you can just put it like so, and it holds your like lid in a place, so it doesn't close up on you, because that can happen sometimes. Okay, so we are going to start painting this armor, and we're going to try and be as neatly as possible to avoid things that will not be Achillean blue, green, not blue. Okay, so wow, look how great this color looks. It looks amazing. I think this is my new favorite blue color. As you already maybe know, maybe don't, depending if you watched any of my painting videos, I always sneak some blue color on a miniature, even when there's no really a reason to have a blue color, because I really like blue, and it is sort of something I do. I think it's like my own signature. So yeah, I have a signature in painting miniatures, weird stuff, but this looks really nice. Now it pulled a little bit over here, so we are just going to spread it around here just to cover these more. Now if you make a few mistakes here or there, I have prepared a white color, regular, from Vallejo, that I usually use, because it's really good, it covers really well, and you just go and repair the mistake that you did. And painting with contrast is really fun. Now somebody said it was paints made for beginners, but I would not say that they are 100% for beginners. Look how great this blue looks. So I would not say they are for beginners, because you have to be really like you have to be really neat when you are painting with it, otherwise you will have a lot of rework to do, and you want to avoid that. You just want to paint one swift coat and be done with it. But they are really good for painting lots of miniatures quickly to a decent standard. Of course, that they would not be in any way pro painted. You can do much better if you use regular paints, but I like for what they are and for what they do. They're really cool, and they do their job right. Okay, so I'm going to paint over the entire knee, because avoiding these is just pointless. because they're really like one on another close together, so you'll have to go back with the white, because these spikes, I want them to be white at the end, like on these guys. So yeah, that is what I will do. Okay, so now we're gonna need to paint a little bit. I don't know if the sound is okay. I hope it is. Tell me if it isn't. I may be able to speak a little bit louder, but not too louder. Too loud, not too louder. Yeah, my English is excellent. Okay, so let's go and paint this other shoulder. Now these are really big shoulder pads, but they look intimidating, really intimidating. Okay, this whole miniature is really intimidating. I don't know if you played WARCRY. WARCRY is basically a Age of Sigmar Warhammer, but it is just scaled down to a few miniatures, usually around 8-9 miniatures per warband, and it is stupidly fun game. It is really fun game. Now I pulled a lot of this Achillean blue, so I have to work really quickly to get it off the shoulder pad, because I really don't want to have these spots like you can see here. This is really something I don't want to have on my miniature. Okay, so next thing, we're going to go and paint this thing here, and I will just, sorry for that, I bumped the mic with my brush again, because I have to put it really near me so you can hear me properly. I try to tweak the mic a little bit, but then I get lots of background noises like hammering, and so it's not an option to have it like really near my mouth so you can hear me properly. But I'll try to speak louder. Oh, and we have 2 people watching. Well, that was the same number as the last time, 2 people. So my 2 trusted fans. Don't laugh at me, wife. Those are my fans. You don't know them, but they're cool. Okay, I did a little boo-boo here. I took way too much of Achillean green color, and I need to transfer that quickly over to his armor on his knees and everything on the shins, or however you want to call it. Okay, so I'll just paint over this because, yeah, I did something that I really don't like. It looks awful. It pulled a lot. Now I know you cannot see what I'm doing right now, but there is no humanly possible way to position camera so you can see what I'm trying to paint. Some parts of the miniatures are really hard to get to, but if you manage to paint it, it looks cool. Okay, so I soaked up most of it. There is some left, so we'll start painting this armor over here, just so I can. And if you're hearing some buzzing, that is somebody sending me a message on the phone, I think. Let me just quickly check. Okay, so I got an email that Life of a Board Gamer is live on YouTube. I mean, I know I'm live on YouTube. That's really weird. Not sure why I got that message. YouTube tells me that I'm live. Probably if I maybe he just wants to check with me if I did it on purpose. Maybe I did it mistakenly. Like I did a mistake. I didn't want to go live and I went live. For some reason maybe, but it only took him what, 15 minutes to tell me that I'm live. So lots of things can happen in 15 minutes. Okay, so I did a little boo-boo here, I see. I have to cover that up. Okay, I want to now paint this inner part, but I don't want to I'll probably have to get back with the white, but I want to do as little damage as possible to paint in here. Okay, I think I did a good job. I'm not really sure. Nobody knows. But he already looks really cool. I like how bluish he is. Okay, so going to paint his back, armor, shoulder now. I see there's some paint that didn't dry up yet, so I have to be really careful around it. I don't want it to mess up my blue armor or green armor, depending if you are colorblind maybe. And I bumped the mic one more time because I can do that. Okay. This is really slow work, but if you go any faster you will probably have more to, so when you're painting with contrast colors, slow is actually better because then you have less things to repair, to go back and to repair. And I think we are done with the armor. Maybe just a little bit over here. I think I can go paint it here without. Okay, I'm going to risk it. Oh, went out well. Oh, down here we have to paint it down here. And no, we are not done. We have to paint his helmet. His helmet is not painted. The helmet needs to be blue also. Okay, so we'll start from the top and work our way down all around these edges, watching not to go over the parts that need to remain white. So and I already did go over the part that needs to remain white, but we'll come back and fix it. As I already told you, you can see here I missed a little bit and went on these, like, don't know what it is, those are guards of sorts, something, but yeah, it's really easy to fix all that. Okay, so back of the helmet. So we still have 2 people watching and nobody's commenting anything. Come on, are you alive? Are those bots? Are those YouTube bots watching and waiting for me to make a mistake, say a curse word or something, so they can shut me down? Okay, so we are done with the helmet. Looks really cool. This guy looks awesome. As a miniature as a whole, he looks really cool. I like it. I like it a lot. Okay, so we are done with Achillean green. I think there is nothing else I want to paint in this color. So we just need to soak up a little bit. Wait. Okay, so my wife decided to troll me behind my back and leaving comments, and Davor is also here. Yeah, Davor, it's really nice shade of blue. It's kind of greenish bluish. It looks super cool. So why so blue? I won't respond to any of that. She's right behind me laughing. Blue because I like color blue and I have to paint blue miniatures or else I would probably die. Okay, so now we have 4 people watching. It's not teal, it's blue. Stop trolling from behind, woman. Okay, so we are done with this one, and I think almost 100%. We don't want to use that anymore. So the next thing we are going to do is we are going to use basilicanium gray. I think that is the correct pronunciation. Maybe it isn't. Who knows? And we are going to paint his weapons, his hands, his chainmail armors, all around him with this one. So that's going to be super easy, quick job. Okay, so you just take it and just go all around it, like go to town. As you can see, the coverage is awesome. It gives it that rusty metal look, like it was used a lot, and it is, because it is a war cry after all. They are bashing their heads constantly in a crazy world. Also, we are going to paint the chains with this one. I don't know if I talked about it in my last stream, so I don't want to repeat myself, but I learned a long time ago that when you are painting, the less is more, and that is the great rule that I learned. What I mean by it: use as least different colors as you can, because if I paint the chains with another type of color, then I paint this one with another type, and then maybe this hammer with another type of color, trying to represent like silver or maybe something like that. The miniature starts to look like it's like from the clown college or something like that. It really isn't good look. So less is more, by all means. Don't use as many colors as you wish to use at first. You have to go against yourself, basically, and try not to paint. Now I'm just going to paint this middle black, then I'm going to repair it with the white again, because we're going to paint all of this another color. It reminds you of the Batman suit from the animated series. Unfortunately, I didn't watch that one. I think I never watched any Batman cartoons. I don't know. Does that mean that you will automatically unsubscribe? I mean, if you want to, you can. It's absolutely up to you. But yeah, I never watched any Batman cartoon. I know people say they are really good. There is one that is really like super crazy good, but I don't know. I just never was that much into animated superhero cartoons. I like cartoons and everything. I grew up watching He-Man and Ninja Turtles and Transformers, but superheroes like Marvel, DC superheroes, I don't know. I kind of like movies more than just than cartoons. But to everyone his own. Or no, I don't know how to say what I want to say now. You see, it clearly says on my channel that I'm bad at English, but I still decide to use it. And now I try to say something that I don't really know how to say, so I will just shut up about it and continue talking about painting. Painting is fun. Now lots of people decide that they think the painting is hard, but they kind of want to start painting. They are interested in it, but they think, oh my god, that's really hard, I'm not talented like you. I don't have a real talent, trust me. Everything you see now, and if you like it, it is learned. It is not a talent, it is something I learned. My first models that I painted was awful ugly. It was so ugly. Those were dwarfs from Battle for Scalpes, and those were ugly. My god, those were ugly. But yeah, okay, so we have Mihaela Kolaric. If I'm not mistaken, she's a girlfriend of Dower, or is it? Where's the genius cute baby? The genius cute baby is soundly asleep. I hope so. because otherwise I would not be painting now if he is not asleep. So I would even start sooner this live stream, but the little fella decides when he wants to go to sleep, and that's usually after 9, so I have to wait for him to go to sleep, and then I can paint the miniatures and talk to you for some time. Now I know this live stream says painting hour. My initial idea was for this type of live streams to last for an hour, but I'm willing to paint more. If people want to watch more, I can go up to 2 hours. Then I'll probably need some rest, because painting more than 2 hours in straight, I mean, it is doable. I can do it. It's really not like super hard for me, but you get like a little bit nervous, and at least I get a little bit nervous when I'm painting, and I didn't rest for some time maybe, or something like that. And yeah, then you start doing making mistakes in painting. Yeah, Dower says plus. So I presume you two are in the same room on a different devices. I mean, you can use the same device, you know that. I'm talking to Davor and Michaela, if there was any confusion who I was talking to. So yeah, oh, today we had a fantasy day in our club. Oh, my voice just completely broke. We had a fantasy day. It is once a year, basically, I think. It is an event where we gather and play all kinds of RPGs and stuff like that, but I'm not too much into RPGs. Thank you. I'm gonna make a new mini while you paint. Okay, send us pictures of new mini while I paint. So make a miniature of me painting. It's like Inception. So yeah, what I was talking about. Yeah, we had this fantasy day. It is day when we are playing RPGs, but not strictly RPGs, but some board games also. And I managed to trick some people to play with me the game I really like and not many people love. And it is Last Night on Earth, a zombie game, which is super awesome game, and it really deserves much more love than it gets. But people think that the game is not that good, so I tricked people into playing. I lost. I always play the zombie guy because there's always somebody new, so you don't want to, like, not somebody, because I trick people. They usually don't play the game with me anymore, and I like to play zombie, to be honest. So I played the zombie guy and I lost, but I had fun. Now you see, I noticed one thing. I missed part underneath his knee over here, but it really doesn't matter because this whole thing will be white, so we are not going to fix that. Oh, we lost 2. We had 5 people watching at one time. I think that's my personal record. For a second live stream painting, I think that's a cool record, even though it's a kind of smallish number. Okay, so we are done with the Basilicanium Grey, and now we need to paint some things that will be... No, first we need to go and fix things. Okay, now the white comes into play, so I'm using just a regular Vallejo white color, and I'm going to touch up on some mistakes I did or some parts that I intentionally went over, so I can repaint them with other contrast colors. Okay, so for that I'll need some water, and okay, I need to mix up the paint, so please bear with me. Okay, that's too much water. I used too much water, but it's fine. we'll do it live. Okay, so now comes the boring part of me painting all the parts that are not white and should be white. So you can come back in like 5 minutes, and I just missed part here, but it really doesn't matter, we can fix that super easily. So I used too much water with this white, but I'm doing a lot of mistakes. I'm trying to repair the mistakes and I'm doing new mistakes. Now things happen. I should use a smaller brush, but it is what it is. I will stick to this one now. It's really not that hard to fix it. Okay, so this part over here I want it to have different color, so we'll just make it like so. And then these spikes, we want to make these white because I want them to be this light grayish bluish that I'm later going to paint over them. And you're really not seeing much of that, but I have to see it, so I have to tilt it really in a super wonky way. Okay, I remember this boo boo here. Okay, so we need to fix this thing here, so I'll have to come back with the Killian green and fix some of these mistakes that I'm doing right now. Definitely should have stick to tinier brush for this step, but it is what it is. We will not go back now. I'll just finish with this one, and this is super boring part of the painting now, so I'm really not sure if you want to watch this. If only someone bought me a smaller brush. Actually, I have one right over here, and it was supposed to be using for this. I was supposed to use it for this, but I thought I can do it with this one. Turns out I can't. But it really is okay. Nothing bad will happen. As soon as you tell yourself that everything can be repaired on a miniature, you will be more freely to paint. When I first started painting, I was really afraid. Wow, what if I now go and put some line over here and I really don't want? And then you realize, like, what if you do? What if you do it? Nothing will happen. You'll just paint over it. Like, you can paint over it super easily. So why should you be afraid to paint and make happy little mistakes, as Anna said today about my spillage of the red color. So okay, I think I'm kinda now. This is the spot I also need to paint again. Okay, so when I told you I think we are done with the Killian green, I guess I cursed myself, because now I'm going to need it again, and I think we did all things white that we want to be different color later, but I'm really not sure. So let me just click now. All these spikes on his head, I completely missed those. Okay, so he has like bajillion spikes on his head, so we need to paint these, because I'm going to paint them in a slightly different color that you basically won't even notice, but I decide I will, so I will know if I didn't paint them, so I have to do it. It was my choice. I'm super rambling stupid shit now. What should I talk about? What do you want to know? Ask me a question. Ask me anything. But don't make it personal. So yeah, do you have any questions? I know Dower always has questions, because Dower, if you didn't know, people who are watching this later maybe, Dower does sculpts with modelers, clay, something like that. I'm not sure what to pronounce it, how to pronounce it in English. And he does some really cool stuff. I saw some resources that he did for a friend in a club for a Wingspan board game, and it looked really cool. He did the resources like those little fishes or whatever they are. Tell me about the last night on Earth. This sounds super weird. Tell me about the last night on Earth. A Last Night on Earth is a board game with zombies that is super lucky. Super lucky. I cannot stress you enough how much luck is in that game, but the theme of the game, and the game is based around all these those B horror movies, B zombie movies, like from the 80s, and it is based on that. So, but let me just quickly check if I did repaired everything. I did. Everything looks neat. I think I didn't miss anything. I hope I didn't miss anything. Maybe a little thing over here. Just quickly go over it. Okay, now it looks better. So yeah, it is a zombie game, and it really aims for that 80s movies, that bad B movies about zombies. As I told you, it has a lot of luck in it, but I really like it, not for the gameplay, but for the theme itself. It really brings out that trash zombie horror movies. Really, I think you just maybe like that one, but you have to understand that you are coming in like lots of dice rolling and everything. Your move is decided by dice, so you have to throw dice to see how much moves can you make on your turn, and that can be really bad if there are lots of zombies around you and you just get one on a movement. Then you just can stay and fight them. There's no really point in running away from them. Okay, so now we are going for Gorgrunta fur, and this will be used, even though it's a fur color, it is going to be used to represent like these bronze rusted parts of this model, and I'm really satisfied how this color looks at the end on the miniature. It really gives it that feeling. Okay, so we are going to paint all these his coins on a skirt, or I don't know if these are coins or whatever they are. Oh, I just saw one thing I forgot. These arrows on his plate over here, these need to be white also, so we'll have to come back to it and paint them again. But for now we are just going to finish with this one, since we started already, so there's really no point. You just have to remember if you see some mistake that you did and come back to it. There's really no good reason to paint, then you see something, then stop with that, go and make this thing, repair this job that you did wrong, paint job, and then go back and continue painting. You know what I'm talking about. My English is losing. I must say, this live streaming is mighty hard thing to do. I thought it would be a much easier thing to talk for 2 hours. I talk a lot in a real life. I'm like constantly talking. I'm really loud, and I thought, well, I can do this live stream. I can talk for hour and a half. Turns out it's really challenging. Really challenging. Now I see one mistake I didn't repair over here, so now I know there are 2 mistakes I need to repair before I can continue with the other step. Okay, so as you can see, this fur looks really like a bronze, and I like that really much. Now I decided also that all of these hammers that are hanging on them are bronze on every miniature. This is like to keep a uniform look, because I really like uniform look. I like when every miniature in a warband looks kind of the same. Sometimes that might not be good, but like for example, if you have like zombie game, you want these zombies to look differently, because if they all look the same, it kind of looks dull a little bit, but what can you do? But then of course, if you do them like each one of them different, then you are risking of getting them look like a circus act. Looks good, man. Oh, I know it looks good. Now I'm not saying that like pompously, oh, I know it looks good. I am really satisfied how these miniatures look. I'm really satisfied. I also forgot to paint all these white. See, I'm finding lots of, now I know I have 3 mistakes that I need to repair before we can continue doing some other, of course. And one on a knee, it's not, I completely didn't finish with the color white, and I told you like, I'm done, let's continue to other stuff, you see. And that is really okay. So we are done with the bronze for now. We are going to get back to it. I think I will paint some of these things also bronze. I'm still deciding if I want to. Maybe not. Maybe this is enough bronze on this guy. Just the forehead and some of these things, but maybe these things on the back. Nah, not really sure. I want him to keep like the colors look fab. Thanks, mate. Okay, so this was unnecessary English, British English. Okay, so we are back to using the color white, but now with less water. And if you didn't know, you always have to water down your colors. Not necessarily, but also can be applicable to these contrast colors by Citadel, but those regular colors you really need to. So I'm just going to go over these parts that I already did go over, just so that I make them more, because I see some Achillean green coming through it, and I want it to be like really white, because the next color I'm going to use will be like grayish bluish sort of color. So I'll have to come back to this one when it's dried up and do one more coat, because it doesn't look that good. Okay, I want to go now. I know you don't see this, I'm sorry for that, but this is just a weird angle that I need to hit to paint this one. And okay, so we forgot about this one. We have 4 mistakes to go over, right? At least that's what I remember. This is 1, these 2 are 2, this is 2. So we have this thing over here that I missed. So this is 3. And what was the 4th mistake? What did I forget on the number 4? Okay, so I have 1, 2, 3. I know I said I have 4 mistakes to go over, and I'm really not sure. Oh, I forgot. He has a little hammer over here. So I need to paint him in this fur color. What was the mistake I'm missing? So I'll just go and give some more white for this thing over here. Yeah, I completely don't know what was the 4th one. Doesn't matter, I'll find out probably when I see it. Okay, so I just want to bring this back a little bit more, and these spikes over here, because Achillean is really showing through this white. The white color really doesn't have that good of a pigment, so you have to go like in a 2, maybe 3 coats even. Okay, here's a little mistake that I didn't notice, but nothing big. I know I forgot to paint something with the white, and for the love of me I don't know what it is. I really am not sure. It doesn't matter. Okay, so this one is done. Oh, I remember this plate over here, these arrows. I need to paint those white. Okay, for that I will use the smaller brush, because these are really like super tiny, and I have to have as much control as I possibly can. Okay, so now this is some fine tip. I don't know if you can see it, but it is like super tiny brush. And let me just try to position it so you can see what I'm doing, and I can see what I'm doing. Now this is some tough work to do, but it really pays off at the end if you are patient. Now I cannot talk and be really precise when I'm painting this, so sorry. Feet. What about feet? No, his feet are okay. He has the white skin. No, these guys, all of these guys have like white grayish skin, so that's the type of skin that he has. If you mean by that, when you say feet, if you mean by that the feet will remain as they are, I don't plan on changing those. Okay, now we have to go over here. See, much better. Looks really cool. And I think we are done. Maybe I can find a few little mistakes here or there, something that is not that noticeable, and try and repair it. I'll definitely have to use some Achillean green on some of these parts, because I really did a boo-boo here, and I forgot some parts over here and over here. Yeah. Okay. I missed some spaces. Are you sure? I know I missed this little hammer over here. That needs to be brown. That's 100% thing I missed, but everything else I think is okay, for at least in this step. Now there are a few maybe little mistakes, like for example this little tiny white thing over here, but trust me, nobody will notice that. Once you put the miniature on the table, nobody will notice this. That is what I was talking about. You have to free yourself from painting perfect miniature. I used to paint miniatures. Oh, the head was supposed to be brown. Okay, so we are back to fur. So yeah, I used to paint miniatures, and if I didn't do a transition correct on some part, I would go over and over again, like when it was like perfect. And for example, like I painted, let's say for example I painted this chain, and then some of that paint goes on his body. Then I would go and repaint the body, and I would maybe get some on the chain, and I would try to perfectly hit. You cannot do that. If you do that, you will probably burn out super quick. So don't worry about it. Just go and paint it. Nobody will notice. For example, I know that, look, this leg over here. You see it has Achillean green on it, just right about here. I really don't care about it. It is what it is. It happened. Nobody will notice that. And going and repairing every mistake, will take you a million years to paint anything. And you want to have painted miniatures on the table. You don't want to play with the gray miniatures. Nobody wants to play with the gray miniatures. I mean, nobody can tell me that playing with the gray miniatures is better than playing with the painted miniatures. If I find a person that tells me, no, man, I like playing with the gray miniatures, it's much better that way, he's clearly a liar, and he probably stole in his life something, and he's just a heretic that needs to be burned. Now, I'm not spreading the word of hate, I am just joking. It is a joke. Please don't attack me like miniature painter goes live and tells people to lynch other people who doesn't want to paint their miniatures. I'm just joking. It was a joke. But yeah, so we painted the hammer that we missed. I painted this thing around his eye socket that I wanted to paint. I'm not sure if I really want to go with anything else. Maybe it would be too much of a brown. Maybe just this thing around. No, I don't want to. Less is more. You should always think about less is more. You double check the minute to make sure you don't miss something. No. You cannot paint the miniature in just 2 colors. I mean, you can, but I think the 3 colors is like some optimal. The thing is, you don't want to go. You can paint with few shades of blue or something like that, but you really don't want to go like for red now and yellow and make him look like a clown that I'm constantly saying. Okay, so I want to repair stuff that I did with the white, so I'll go back with the Achillean green. I want to do that first. Those few things that I accidentally painted white that I didn't want to, I want to repair that, because they are really obvious. Like for example, this shoulder pad, it really is obvious. I missed here, so we're just going to repair a few of these little mistakes. I'm sorry, I'm bumping the microphone again. It is really hard to paint with the microphone so close, but I need to have it close, otherwise you would not hear me properly. I'm really not sure. Do you hear me okay? Should I be louder or something, or I'm really not sure. So I'm just doing a little repairs that I see here and there. Okay, so this thing over here was completely wrong by me. Whoopsie. Okay. Oh, see, I'm bumping the mic constantly. Damn it. Okay, I think we repaired everything we wanted to be repaired, and I see one thing I should probably correct with the white that I missed. I don't know if my white color on the palette. Oh, it's still alive, just enough for me to wait. I need a little water. Okay, it's just enough so I can do this red like so. Okay, now I'm, oh my god, me and the bumping of the mic. I will definitely try and not to bump it anymore. How did I meet my wife? Do you want her to tell it? So it is a funny story. We met each other while we were, wait, I need to think first before I can say that in English. So her best friend and my nephew are married, but before they were married, no, after they married, no, doesn't matter. So we were helping them moving into their new apartment, renovating their apartment. And then, my God, this will be hard to explain in English. And then we were removing some stuff from the wall that is called bavalit. You will know what the bavalit is, but anyone who's not from Croatia will probably not know what I'm talking about. And so we met while we were removing the bavalit from the walls, and I knew that she had a boyfriend, and he was not there. And I was like, "Where's your boyfriend? Why he's not helping?" Because her other friend brought her boyfriend to help, and she was like, "Oh, we broke up." And I was like, "Oh, did you really? Well, that is interesting information." And then I chased her for how long? Wait, she'll tell me. She says 6 months. I think it felt like a year to me. I always tell I chased her for a year. So yeah, I chased her for 6 months. I was sending her flowers. We were playing Scrabble and stuff like that. Now we don't play Scrabble anymore because Scrabble is a horrible game. Sorry. And yeah, so that is how I met her. Actually, she was I was the best man at my cousin's wedding, and she was the maid to her best friend on the wedding. So we were like a couple, and then I was the best man, she was the maid. It was a really weird situation. Okay, so we have MN4Life says, "Hey Daniel, love your channel. Thank you very much. Do you think you can do a top 10 traditional card games?" I don't know. What do you mean when you say traditional card games? Because to me traditional card games are what, like Rummy, Canasta, but I never played those. I played Bella. Bella is was a lot. Bella was played a lot, and it still is played a lot in Croatia, in these Balkan areas. 52 card deck, yeah. I really think I cannot make a top 10 list because I really didn't play that many games in that genre, so to say. So okay, so we are continuing with the painting. Yeah, Grief Charger Grey is next, and we are going to go over all these white parts, rims of the armor, and we are going to paint it with this. This is like light bluish grayish color. So yeah, MN4Life, thank you. What about solitaire games? I don't play solitaire games. I have one game that is strictly solitaire, Deep Space D6, and it's a really awesome game. I think I never did a review for it. I definitely have to do a review for it, but I'm not that much into solo games. We have a club that is regularly visited by at least 10-15 people, so there's really no time to play solo games when there's like 15 people around you want to play a game. Okay, so we are using the Grief Charger Grey, and we are just going to paint all over these parts and give them like this bluish grayish shade, just to make it dial down a little bit, because these are like chaos warriors of sorts, so they cannot have like pure white on them because it would just not look okay. It would just not look right. So yeah, and this is fairly easy process to do because it is much lighter color than this Achillean green, so I don't have to worry if I go over it. It will not show that I missed a spot here or there. That was one of the reasons why I chose this color. But yeah, thanks. I'll check out this. Deep Space D6 is really great solo game. It is, you are flying your ship. I still have to win that one. I never win it. Maybe I even film a playthrough video of it, like me playing solo. I did few playthrough videos with my friend Slaven, and I think I played solo. No, I don't think. I know I played solo Terraforming Mars, but I really don't enjoy that much of the solo gameplay, apart from Deep Space D6, which is meant to play solo. I mean, I don't think they're bad games, but I don't know, I just like playing games with people. You know, hanging out, having fun, trashing each other's, like, oh my god, how you are playing that move, oh, now you're playing this move, you know, stuff like that. When you can. There are some people that really don't like that thing, so you have to know who you can talk to like that, trash talk, and who you must avoid. But when we are talking about top 10 list, I have a few top 10 lists on my channel. Not sure if you found them, but if you didn't, go check out. I have a playlist for everything. And another top 10 list is coming out probably next week, one day, not sure which day. Me and Slaven did a top 10 deck building games, so we talked about that, and it was really hard list to make, I must say. I thought there is more games with deck building aspect than really is, so I had to include and bag builders and pool building games and like stuff like that. I was super surprised how there is no that many deck building games. Just regular straight deck building games like Dominion and games in that genre like Clank, for example. Okay, so this one looks pretty good. We have a few things over here to go over. I think I should maybe go this one with that fur brown, but it is what it is. I won't change it now. There's really no point constantly going back and forth changing stuff. I'm keeping it like it is. And Slaven flowers. What with Slaven? What Slaven? Did Slaven say something? No, I didn't see Slaven here. Oh no! Oh, you mean I talked about top 10 list and you commented about Slaven? Yeah, Slaven is a great guy. Great fella. And that is that for this color. Okay, you see how it dialed down a little bit, but it still has this bluish tone. Oh no, I'm not done. I have to paint his face with that color also. So the face needs to get this treatment too. Now we are done with it. I mean, not done. Dun. Is Mystic Vale a deck building game? Yes, I completely forgot about it. I think I didn't put it in my top 10. Sometimes when you are making these top 10 lists, you kind of forgot about games. It happens. It really happens. I thought when I was watching other top 10 lists from other YouTubers, and I was like, oh my god, how they did forgot about this game. And they say, oh, I forgot it. But then it happened to me, and it really can happen. You can really forget about the game. It's really weird stuff. Okay, so basically now the miniature is done. That's it. I mean, not done. I have to do the basing. I do the basing last. I always paint all the miniatures that I want to have, and then I just base them when I have the whole warband together. But now this one looks complete, right? So you can play it like so, and it will look super cool. When I will put the whole warband, like 4 of them, and you will see how they good look when they're on one group. But listen, you say perfect, but let me show you one more step. And I'm sorry, I'm bumping the table a little bit. Now you say perfect, but let me show you just one little step that will drastically improve your miniature, and it is really not hard. You just need who made your channel's logo? It was completely 100% me. So I'm not good with the Photoshop, but for the life I draw in AutoCAD, and then I drew it in listen, the process was super cool. So I drew it in AutoCAD, then I exported it to PDF, and then from PDF I imported it into Photoshop, and then I changed colors and all that. But yeah, everything you see on my channel was made by me. Even the intro, that little intro I have on my videos that lasts for 4 seconds, I was creating 2 months because I am self-taught. So I wanted to animate it, like looking at like this neon sign. I had an idea, and I spent like 2 months watching YouTube tutorials in Photoshop and just to learn how to animate. Yeah, it was convoluted method, but it was the only method I know. Okay, so now that one extra step that will be something awesome. Let me just take some more water. I really need to water down the white color, like to consistency that is super watery. Okay, so now what you do, I don't know if you can see it on the camera, but he has lots of battle damage all around. Like you see on his shoulder pad, he has like dent, and it is a little bit darker. You just go underneath it and add a little white line, just to announce. I don't know how to say the word that make it pop out a little more. And trust me, it will look stunningly awesome. Now see how here he has some damage, so now we want to highlight that, and you want to highlight this damage here. Maybe do like so, like with the side of the brush. Just go on the edge and make a fine highlight, and trust me, your miniature will look like 10 times better. And for example, you can go like here. It is kind of unnecessary step because the miniature, if you ask me, is fine. It looks fine like it is, but why not give it a little more, just so you can admire it even more. This is stupid sentence. Okay, so now we are just searching for each part that has some battle damage on it and just drawing a little lines underneath it, little white lines, just so you can see them a little bit better. Now see, he has some damage here. You just put a little fine line and you are done. Okay, so okay, this will be a great example. Okay, so this, you see how all this is battle damaged. Now I'll just try and position it so you can see what I'm doing. Now for this you need your color to be very watery and very flowy, which is mine is not at the moment because it dried up on a brush. So you damp it in the water some more, and then you just go and, now I did a little bit too much here, so I'll probably come back and repair it with the Killian green, but it is because I have to hold it really weird, in a weird position, so I can show you what I'm doing. And we have this thing over here which goes in X, like it's, so the thing is, you always go underneath it, but if it's like vertical, you just decide if you want to go left or right. And see, I did a little too much over here, but you can basically leave it. Why not? I'll leave it. And now you have some damage on his weapon, so you can put some white also here. And again, it started to dry up, so we need to give it a little more flow. Okay, and this one here and this one here. Do we have any more damage anywhere else? Okay, so this weapon has lots of damage here. It is a little bit slow work, this thing that I'm doing right now, but it pays off really nicely when you are, you just have to be very patient when you are doing this, because if you want to rush it like I did on that other shoulder, then you get mistakes and you don't want to do that. Okay, so I need some more water on my brush because this is fairly small brush, so it dries up really quickly, so you need to constantly going back and forth and putting some water on your palette. Yeah. Okay, so do we have any more damages anywhere? Okay, so we have some here. We completely missed this one underneath the Killing Green also, but it really doesn't matter, nobody will see it. Just leave it be and continue painting. Okay, so I want to highlight this thing here a little bit. Okay, now I think we did all these battle damage thingies that I wanted to do. Now we're just going to highlight few stuffs here and there, like his shoulder pads, his these just to give them more definition. So for example, let me just get some paint. Like you want to imagine like there's sun hitting from above, and then you just go and do it like so, and leave everything else in a gray, and it will look like it's shining. Just think of it as highlight from above, like the sun is really high up and it's shining upon your cool miniature. Okay, so don't overdo it. Like I'm battling my inner self now to not overdo it. I really want to overdo it. I'm like that, but really try to be subtle with it, because always tell to yourself what I'm telling to myself. Less is more. Less is more. And maybe, okay, these spikes over here need some highlight, most definitely. Okay, I need some more white. So we are very near to finish this miniature, and it's hour and 12 minutes, so I think I won't be starting another one. I have to go to bed because, oh, this one is completely not highlighted. Super strange. So yeah, I need to go to sleep because my son really doesn't know what time it is. He's always up at 6, 7 in the morning, and sometimes I forgot that and I stay awake a little more than I should, and then he's up and you are completely destroyed with the lack of sleep, and he's laughing and wants to have fun and everything, and you just want to sleep. Okay, so we have Ivan online. He says sometimes on Saturday we used to drink, now we watch Daniel painting miniatures. Yeah, that's life you get when you are engaged, my friend. So I think it is done. I think it's complete. We could do one optional step now. He has these spikes going out of his skin. I really didn't want to do anything about those. I wanted to leave them like so, but I think we could use some of the, let's repair this thing over here. That white that went, a killing green that went over the leg. So yeah, I think we could maybe put some little pink color around it just to exaggerate how it looks, and to show it that it is like sore or something like that. I don't know if I should do it because I don't want to repeat myself, but I have to, and I have to say the less is more. So I want to highlight some more stuff. I didn't highlight enough. As I already told you, I have a problem when it's to highlighting. I like to highlight everything. Sometimes it's good, most time it's not. Also, yeah, Ivan, I have to talk about him a little bit now. He'll probably be super proud that he's like so mentioned on my channel. So I didn't also do the highlight for this one, and I need to highlight this one most definitely. So yeah, Ivan, I started this thing where I not each, but when I do a vlog, I read all the new subscribers from last vlog, and Ivan is my subscriber when I had like 130 people on my channel, and so I never read his name because he was then. I didn't do that. I didn't do vlogs or anything like it, and now he unsubscribed just so he can subscribe again so I can read his name. Can you believe this guy? Yeah, but he's a cool dude, so I will forgive him that nonsense because that is something that I expect from him. And now I think that we can say we are done with the miniature. I'm not really sure. The miniature is never done, actually. It is just a lie that you tell yourself. But yeah, overall you are the catfish, not me. So yeah, I want to highlight his face a little more. I never put anything here, so just on these upper parts, just to give it a little bit more definition, maybe just a little tiny thing is here. And he has these, like, I don't know what they are, like some rings, earrings or something. And that is that. The miniature is complete. So if you have any more questions for me, please do ask them, because I plan to go offline soon. I want to touch up few little details, but overall I think that miniature is done. There's really nothing much to do more on it. So yeah, that is how I decided to paint my ironclad. Are they called ironclad? Wait, let me just, I forgot how they are called. I don't know. Iron Golem Warband. So yeah, this is how I paint Iron Golem Warband. And I thought, life for a game, my live streaming info, I really don't understand this live streaming yet. Those titles of the videos are completely not what I wrote, but I'll have to check more into it and see how to do it correctly, properly next time, next Saturday. So yeah, this is how I paint iron golems and how I tend to paint them all. So let's just put them together as one group, but first we need to clean the brush, and then I'll show you a showcase of 360 of the miniature. Wait, let me just put, okay, so this is the iron golem that I painted just for you, my faithful viewers. You go to sleep, all of you go to sleep. And yeah, this is the warband so far. These are the guys I have painted. I know this is the video is a little bit fuzzy because the camera is adjusted to zoom like over here, but yeah, these are the guys, and I have 4 more to go, so I am halfway there. And that is that. Thank you all for watching, and I will be signing off now, unless you have some last second questions or anything like that, like a quick Q&A. I know this sounds a little bit loud, but now I can go closer to the microphone. So I don't know what I'm looking for some things on this live streaming, but these are like super stupid. I have to look into it more. Okay, so no questions. When is the next stream? Next stream is next Saturday probably. I don't think I will do these streams. Oh, thank you, Ben. Ben just showed up. So I don't think I will do streams more than once a week. Maybe if I catch some time, but the problem is that when I have some time, maybe then the baby is around and it's really fiddly. So this is like the only way I can, the only time that I can stream without, with certainty that I won't be bothered by him. Him needed something or. So yeah, that is that. I will do the basing for these miniatures when I'm done with them. Next time we talk, I'll probably paint WARCRY Beastmen, just to show you how I do those. I hope these guys will be painted by then, but who knows. I'll say hello to him as soon as he wakes up. So if you want, I can send you regular pictures and videos. Bother you with pictures. So yeah, that is that. Thank you all for watching, and I'll be signing off now. So until next Saturday, until next Saturday, or maybe sooner, that was that. Bye bye.